Hey everyone, I'm State Representative Laura Devlin, proud to represent the 134th District of Fairfield and Trumbull and House Ranking Member on the Transportation Committee.
Hi everyone, I am State Senator Henri Martin and I represent the 31st District, and that includes Bristol, Harwinton, Thomaston, Plymouth, and Harwinton.
So Henry, we've been on the road now for like a month.
Yeah, we have been, and we've done these toll informational forums, and I can't say enough about the turnout that we've been, those that have been in attendance. It's been great.
It's been awesome. It keeps growing, and we've got like at least 10 more planned over the next couple of months, which is just great.
Well, you haven't seen the schedule. I saw it about half an hour ago, and our April is booked, so I'm excited about
Nothing
that.
I'd rather do. But people who come to our forums come with a lot of questions, right? Like how many gantries and what are you hearing?
Yeah, so it's not only the number of gantries, but how much is this going to cost? Gee, if I'm traveling from Hartford to Bristol, they want to know, gee, how much is it going to be out of their pocket?
Right, and pretty much shocked because people are on fixed incomes or already suffering from the cost of living here and the ongoing tax increases.
Yeah, and you can tell by the tone of the meetings that once they are gathering that information that we're sharing with them, that level of anger is increasing as we go along.
Right, and just frustration because they feel like they're not being listened to by their legislators or by the majority leadership, which is really too bad.
That is very true, and that you can tell by some of their responses by when we've asked them to contact their legislators, and then the emails that we've been receiving after that. It's like interesting to see the response that they've been getting.
Sometimes pretty dismissive.
Yeah, and more.
But an issue, I don't remember an issue in our state where we've had towns passing resolutions. We've had over 650 calls in just 1 week to the Transportation Committee. And how many signatures on this petition going around?
Well, the petition, I think, if it's not there, it's pretty close to over 100,000 have signed this petition.
Yeah, so people are speaking out, and the only way we have a chance to stop this is if everybody does.
So during all our forums, the primary question that we've been hearing about and we've been clarifying is regarding why do we not have border tolling only? So Laura, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so, right, because most of the people who are in favor of tolls either think it's going to be something very different from what we're able to do if we were approved, or they have a financial interest. So border tolls just aren't allowed.
How many are we talking about?
So, well, we're not talking about border tolls, Henry. What we're
that's
talking
right.
about,
That's
right?
right, yeah.
Right?
Sorry.
We're talking about potentially 82, maybe 53.
So which is it?
What's your favorite number?
Well, I like high numbers. No, not really.
But here's the deal, right? So in Transportation Committee, we passed 3 bills. Well,
Yes,
we
did.
voted against them, but the committee voted out 3 bills. One was the governor's bill, and his bill was for
53 gantries.
bingo. And then there was the Senate Democrats bill, and they included 53 gantries.
Yep.
And then there was the House Democrats bill. Now they included in their original, in the language, 53, but we had that sneaky language.
Yeah, that was that deemed approved language.
Well, it's not just deemed approved, yes, but the DOT, if they determine that it is deemed necessary that we have more tolls.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Then we go back to 82.
As many as they want. And that would be at the discretion of the Department of Transportation.
No
Commissioner.
legislative input whatsoever.
Yeah, I was pretty upset about that.
Right. So,
Right.
but based on that plan, how many states would have more tolls than Connecticut?
We would be the #1 in the country.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
We like to be
Number
number
one,
one, but
everybody.
not in this case. So we get a lot of questions at our toll forums, but one we hear a lot about is the discounts that are talked about for Connecticut residents. So what can you talk about related
Yeah,
to that?
so, the base number, so to speak, that they began with in this study, the 2018 study that is, it was a base used for Massachusetts, which began at 6.6 cents a mile. And now with an easy pass, those that would purchase or rent or whatever, whatever that program is, it would start out with an easy pass at 4.4 cents a mile.
But we don't really know what we're getting a discount off of, right?
Not yet. Not yet. And again, once that plan comes back to us, hopefully we'll know what that is.
Right. And it's sort of a false sense of hope because I could give you a 30% discount off of a $20 toll, I give you a 30% discount off of a $100
That's
toll.
right, yeah. So there is a discount of that 4.4 cents if you have an Easy Pass, and then there's an additional, if you travel so many miles, I think it's 20 miles, and then maybe another additional 20 miles, they would give you a further discount of 30% off of that.
But the bottom line is the state still wants to achieve $1 billion.
$1 billion, yeah.
Right?
Regardless if there's 82 gantries or 53 gantries, the bottom line that everybody ought to be looking at is that $1 billion revenues that they're trying to achieve.
It's like that furniture store commercial, right? That says, we don't jack our prices to give you a false sale. We just give you a good rate to go in. I feel like we might be getting a jacked price.
Yeah,
for
I think we're heading in that
fake
direction.
sale.
So.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
So Laura, tell me a little bit about, the Special Transportation Fund. It's the acronym is STF.
Right.
And, there's the expense side as well as the revenue side. So tell me a little bit about what you've learned.
So, plus, we get a lot of questions about this in our forums. There's a lot of confusion about the Special Transportation Fund. And not to give a history lesson, but, it was created in 1984, and it was after the Mianus River Bridge collapse, which was a tragedy. But Governor O'Neill came up with a 10-year infrastructure plan, and they, with that was an agreement of 7 years to increase the gas tax over a period. And all that money was going into what was now the Special Transportation Fund. And because there was a plan and dedicated revenue, there was really good returns on those bonds. So that was the beginning.
And was those funds being used to repair our roads, our bridges, and our railways?
Absolutely. So the solid 10-year plan to address the same issues that we're talking about now, getting up to good repair, and also, expanding in what we currently have. But what happened was the general fund started to go into deficit. So as a result, because there was money in the Special Transportation Fund, things kept getting moved out. So
And what kind of things would those be?
So all of the expenses for the Department of Transportation, and that includes the subsidies that we provide to bus and to rail. So that's included in that chunk. After that moved over, same situation, deficit, got to move stuff. So the pension and benefit expenses for all of our DOT workers moved over.
Yeah.
And that started at about 19 million, and it's like at about 200 million now. So that was followed by the DMV expenses moving over. Our Highway State Patrol moved over, Deep Water Patrol moved over. The state's been really good about basically moving every expense related to transportation, but not every source of revenue.
So it's sort of crowding out the revenues that we have in that fund that was meant to repair our roads and our bridges, but now these expenses have now crowded out those revenues.
Absolutely. And, right, we just heard about we don't raid the Special Transportation Fund, but we divert money.
Divert?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
All right, so Henry, you've got a piggy bank, and I'm going to give you $15 a week to put in your piggy bank, but I only give you 10, I keep 5 back. So that's sort of a diversion.
Okay.
We're kind of doing that with the Special Transportation
And the
Fund.
balance was kept in the general fund.
Yes.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah. So we haven't been fair in that regard.